Hi, it's Bob Powers, and today here I'm going to talk about one specific feature on the soles of shoes that you don't see that often. I'm going to talk about the difference between a open channel stitching and a closed channel stitching, and this is pretty cool. I've got a beautiful pair of cap toe derbies. You see the cap toe open lacing system makes it a derby. Okay, this would be more like a semi-formal shoe, and these shoes are actually made by the company Principe di Firenze. Don't see them that often, and you can see it says right in made in Italy. Okay, so what you usually see, and I have other videos I'll link down below. Basic shoe construction. Here is an Allen Edmonds shoe, higher end American shoe that I've torn apart and I've shown before. Now, this is the outsole, and generally what you see when you see stitching, soles that are stitched on, you see the groove right there. Okay. You can see that as an open channel stitch, meaning there is a groove cut in the sole. Okay, now this would be on the shoe when they stitch it, okay? So there is a channel that is cut. Can you see that? So you can see that the channel makes it so that the stitch is flush, okay? So the stitching is not supposed to stick up above the surface. So you can see here where it's worn, it's worn completely through the channel, you know, but that channel does protect the stitching for a long time. Okay, like you can see over here, it's still inside that channel. Now, what you generally see, and you've seen in some of my other shoe videos, is if the shoe has no stitching, then it's usually glued on. Now, I know this brand of shoe. They're, I think, in the range of $300 to $400. I mean, look at the leather. It's good quality full grain leather. Okay, so I'm going to show you something really interesting. And like I said, you don't see this that often. Now, do you see the channel there? Open channel stitched. Okay, just like most other good quality shoes. But if you notice, okay, it stops right there. Very interesting. Open channel stitching goes to closed, and here you can see it clearly. Okay, do you see right there where it stops? Do you see that little line? Okay, this, from here forward, it is stitched. Even though here you don't see any stitching on this forward part of the shoe, and I'm waiting for the camera to catch up and focus, okay? You don't see it here, but there is stitching all the way around here, okay? And I'm gonna prove it to you. Okay, come on, focus, okay? There's stitching under there. Now this shoe, obviously you see has some wear on it, okay? So first of all, you can see the color change here. And there you can actually see those dots? Right? And you can see where the tip of the toe is worn. Do you see that line right there? So here's what they do first of all to do a closed channel stitch. So they take a shoe like this, and instead of just cutting a groove, what they actually do is they'll slice, like if my hand was a knife, they'll slice, you know, probably about that far in, and then they'll peel this layer of leather back, then they'll cut a groove, stitch, and then lay the leather back down. And that's exactly what you're seeing right there. At this point, this is left open for a purpose. See how beautiful that looks, right? So what they do is they cut and peeled back this leather right here, cut the channel, oops, cut the channel, stitched the shoe, okay, stitched the sole in, and then laid that rubber back over and glued it down. And now, like I said, you can kind of see it, and here's another spot you can see right there. You see right there? I don't know if it shows up in the video necessarily, okay? But what that actually is, it's actually a hole, okay? And here's the other one. Doesn't really happen over here. It's hard to tell in the camera, but in real life you can tell. What has happened is it's actually worn through, and it's kind of like the channel is popping through, okay? So I guess I would say the main reason you would do this like a closed channel stitch, it's just beautiful, okay? And I think, my guess is the reason they did it like this, with mostly closed channel but part of it open, is really just to show it off. You know, I think that's actually for decorative purposes, so you can tell, oh, look at that, it's a closed channel stitch. Because usually if you see like a $100 to $200 shoe, let's say a shoe in the $100 to $150 range, like a lot of the Johnston Murphys have done this, I can tell you, they'll have a slim looking sole like this on a leather upper, leather sole shoe, and there's no visible stitching. A lot of them it's actually glued on, okay, where the glued on sole is not a very good method of construction. So just something pretty cool. You'll generally see this kind of work, closed channel stitching, on expensive English shoes or Italian shoes. And like I said, just something pretty cool you don't see every day. I thought I'd share that with you guys, okay? All right, take care.